Chat, hello. Welcome to twitch.tv/Shinigami Eater once again. What's going on, everybody? There is no audio coming from the game right now. Do not adjust your television screens. What's going on? It's a Sunday night because yesterday on Saturday I stayed up all night working on things and then woke up at 8:30 p.m. so I didn't stream. So here we are now. Hello. We're gonna play a new sort of new game. It came out like a month ago, I think, or something like that. A month and a half, maybe. A sort of new game by Yames, who we've played multiple games from before. I can't recall the names of them off the top of my head, but as soon as we start, I'm sure you will notice the similarities. Yes, Yames games. So we're just gonna start right now. For some reason, this game does not run in full screen whatsoever. It's running in a tiny window on my desktop. Let me show you real quick. Hold on. It looks like this, so I'm using game capture to make it bigger. So if it looks a little funky, that's why.
I can't stay for the whole stream tonight, but game on, fellow gamers, video
Thank
game.
You. Tallest Fella, thank you for the 7 months. Tallest Fella, every time I see your username, I think it's like one of those like joke names, like Smart Fella, specifically. So I always think you're doing like a fart joke on me. Doctor of Pyromancy, thank you for the 3 months. Sleepy Solstices, thank you for the 10 months. And Juicebacks, thank you for the 6 months. Yes, of course, I tried Alt-Enter. You think I'm 10? Yes, I tried Alt-Enter. Doesn't do anything. Anyway, there was a photosensitivity warning for this game before I opened it up. You didn't see it, but it's there. So, general heads up. I don't know what's even going to be in this game. So, viewer discretion is advised. Please read. This game is designed to be played with a mouse. The input required of you is based around clicking the mouse buttons. The right mouse button will change the cursor's image and... Oh, I see. Image and function. Only when pointing, indicated by the index finger, can the player interact with certain menu buttons and prompts. Excuse me. Please click below in the pointing mode to continue. The second cursor mode is indicated by the cursor's image featuring a hand extending all fingers. This mode concerns interacting with objects inside the world, mainly picking up an object and moving it into another position. Continue. Please pick up the piece of trash on the right and place it in the trash can on the left. Remember, the right mouse button will change the cursor's mode, but when holding something, the mode cannot be changed until the cursor is not holding something. Yeah, whatever. That's it! There will be many situations in Growing My Grandpa that will require you to pick things up, place things, grab things, or give things. Don't be afraid to experiment and keep an open mind about using your hand. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Pick up that can. Please click the button below to continue. Yeah. In order to expedite the cleaning process, you can use digits 1, 2, and 3 on your keyboard's number row at the top of the keyboard to reposition the trash can below. Oh, yeah, sick. I could just use the buttons on my mouse for that.
My grandpa, look how big you've grown. We gotta giga grandpa, we gotta use our hands on.
What? Mr. Cook for Grip, thank you for the 9 months. Click the button below, yeah. Variety of video options can be changed at any time. What? F3 to adjust or disable shader effects. F4 to cycle through display. Are you kidding me? That's how you do it? Oh my fucking god. Well, I don't need the fucking game capture anymore. You hit F4 to change it to full screen? Fuck this game. F5 to change the cursor types. There are 3 cursor color schemes available, plus 3 left-handed variants. Huh? Oh. Oh, I kind of like the white, like, staticky one. Yeah, let's stick with that. I like that. Insane dev. By default, growing my grandpa display is scaled up by a factor of 2 and the shader is set at low. Shader intensity. Oh, I see. Yeah, let's keep that on low. That's good. What the fuck? Configuration options overlay. Hovering over the small question mark at the top right provides an overlay related to available configuration options. Try hovering over it. This will be available at all times during the game. Okay, so it just tells you about those buttons. Got it. Thus ends the tutorial. I hope you enjoy entry number 2 in Yames' Secret Games. Growing my grandpa. Infinite thanks to my patrons. Well, yeah, thank you, Yames. Shout out to Yames. Week 1. I've played so many games where F4 was the resolution button. What the fuck are you? Where are you getting these games? You're insane. I excused Adrian during the music class today and spoke with her about a recent string of demerits. It was our first time meeting outside of our quarterly evaluations, and I believe it went well. I can certainly understand Mrs. Richardson's classroom observations concerning Adrian's emotional state. I call the crazy bus the normal bus, got it. Crazy taxi. She was, of course, intensely shy when we first met. As I understand it, she is similarly withdrawn in her classroom activities, only speaks or acts when she absolutely must. Some things she simply will not do. Instead of participating in mandatory group activities, she will sit alone and accept that she will receive a demerit. You're about to get fucking demerited. Before the meeting, I read Mrs. Richardson's parent teacher report, which allowed me to estimate some of Adrian's home life. Parents are well educated and come from a prestigious background, but they lack time to properly nurture Adrian. She is often alone, and when she is not, the parents seem to not understand the importance of warmth and affirmation when dealing with someone so young. Having 2 parents of this reserved and icy temperament exacts an inhibition in a child. The child's imagination is subdued, but only ostensibly, for it eventually finds its way into regular life. I surmised that I would not be able to reach out to Adrian by way of make-believe. What the fuck? How are you liking your new house? You've told me you used to live close by, but it can still be a big adjustment. A new room, a new school. Okay. The basement, huh? I'm not reading this child. Your mom and dad made you go? The voice of this child is the room noise that's playing right now, the ambient room noise. Why did they send you down there? Okay. That sounds tough. Do they fight a lot? This is a potato. It's alright, Adrian. Maybe you can tell me more about the basement instead. Living, huh? That's very interesting, Adrian. Please tell me more. By indulging her in her fantasies and her stories, I was able to glean more of an understanding of Adrian's anxiety surrounding her home and parents. The symbols of Adrian's story seem to carry their own traumatic weight, and her exploration of the basement may very well be a vehicle for the conveyance of her anxiety. Whatever might come of our next meeting, whether she will engage in similar make-believe, I will set down her story here. Adrian's story begins with her delving into the basement with a trash receptacle and the goal of cleaning up. She discovered one of the walls was covered in plastic bags. She went to investigate, intent on tearing away whatever they covered. Whoa, cool, this like old-ass FMV thing. Trash bags. Oh yeah, baby. What is this goop? This gunk? Put it in the trash. Upon removing the plastic trash bags from the wall, she noticed their interior lining was covered in glass. Like a window, I offered. No, she said, like a mirror. Reflecting inwards towards the animal they covered. I gently asked her what exactly this animal was. Here is where the material reality of the story took a turn for the explicitly fantastic and imaginary. Yo! Upon her discovery of it, at her gaze, it grew or extended, its shaggy, haired self. Hair like the fur of a dog, I offered. No, she said. It's a ch-ch-ch-chia. Ch-ch-ch-chia. Not the fur of a dog, nor the hair on her head. It grew outwards towards her, the animal's hair reaching out. It was hard, standing almost straight, like the hair on a brush. A bristle, I offered. Yes, she said. This dude's so generous. He offers so much. So many words offered. She was very afraid at first, but then very curious. I asked her what else was in the room. More things hidden away, she said. Things of Grandpa's as well. First, she found a hidden passage under the stairs. Inside were strange dolls, magic objects, naked, faceless figures. I heard these cryptic utterances and merely nodded. In order to keep the game of make-believe going, I only pressed for details where I thought necessary. The faceless dolls could be a simple metaphor for the anonymity she feels in her own home. The hidden passage, I am unsure of what to make of that. The revealing of the concealed seems to be thematic in her fantasy. The door under the stairs is but one example. Yeah, sure. Yo, what's in here? What's he growing in there? Yeah, it's just... Shit, homeboy, I don't know what this is. Okay. The darkness of the shadowy corner unnerves you. You cannot explore here without some form of light.
Happy 1 year coup.
Hey, yo! Royally Nick, thank you for the full year. Appreciate it. Okay. You will not explore. What's all this bullshit? Trash pile. Just grabbing stuff. Oh, it's the, door under the stairs that he was talking about. Once she removed the panel and found the magical hidden passage, she was very specific about what she took. She found a magic book, a magic doll, a photo of her late grandpa, and a magic glue. Close that fucking door back up. No wonder this was sealed. Oh my god, look at the... Master has given Dobby a sock and trapped him in the closet. Take the doll. Slouching doll. Its material is rough and coarse. Yeah, you could say that. Search closet. Oh, the Necronomicon! Glue! My god! Eurasian steppe shamanism and the fusiform gyrus. The interdisciplinary study in sympathetic magic. A dissertation, Jacob Hart. Papers crudely bound together to form a book. The impetus of this research was the recognition of a particular pattern in fragments of documents relating to magic and magico-religious practices. Numerous sources were drawn from the commentaries on laws relating to the banning of sorcery and necromancy. Necromancy may be legal in Cyrodiil, but few will admit to practicing it. Compilations of folk charms relating to love spells. How do you say that? Hagiographs? of saints and their encounters with the devils. The list spans many centuries and a great distance from the Levant to the Khazar Khaganate to the border of the modern nation states of Russia and Kazakhstan today. Bro, what? I'm not reading this shit. Ah! Man, a photo of your late grandfather. Read now. Mr. PhD. On the reverse side of the photograph, there is more text. Good luck on your trip to the Urals. Stay warm. Glue. It's glue. I interrupted to ask what she did with these magical, mysterious materials. Grow Grandpa, she explained plainly, and then without missing a beat, she continued on with her story. Feeling this was a potent symbol, I stopped her again to ask what she meant. Somewhat puzzled, I did not understand immediately. She explained slowly. Grandpa lives in the cage in the other room, the cage behind the door. They grew people in the cage. Right. Of course. How could I be so foolish? Obviously, that's what you meant. Door. Hastily written note. I've repeatedly called your homes to no avail, and so I'm forced to leave this here for you all. I found William sitting in the corner of the enclosure area, seemingly severely concussed. Whiskers was gone in none of its usual hiding places. Oh no, is there a cat? Something happened to the cat. I immediately suspected the worst. The project thus must be suspended for now. I am leaving up the usual mirrored coverings we use to keep the anthropoidic void sealed. I have done my best to lock up everything on such short notice. It is a hasty fix, but it will require some time to find a more permanent remedy. I am honestly hoping you do not find this note as I... Yo! Sungwon, thank you for the raid, dude! We're playing fucking, some indie horror games right now. Right now we're playing a game called Grow My Grandpa by Yames. I'm honestly hoping you do not find this note as I intend to lock the house down too. I intend to race off to you to retrieve your lockbox keys. Do not worry about William's key. It and the rest of his equipment is almost certainly deep within Whiskers now. I pray you do not enter this room no matter how it may appear. William cannot be helped and is only being kept alive as a means of continuing predation on the rest of us. God, how fucking long is this note? It's only... paper can only be so big. I will say once again, no matter what state you may encounter William in, he cannot be helped. I have sympathy for the young man, I truly do, but I found on his person several photos of his late sister, which would imply certain risks he knew he was taking. Our extant research materials have now become possible liabilities, either criminal or professional in nature, so I have stashed them away. I believe I let you all know how I might do this if we were ever to experience an event such as this. I hope you all remember what I told you. So long then, Dr. H. Yeah, it's for a hastily written note, it's pretty long, you're right. Beyond the door, in the room, the cage was hidden, concealed in another cloak of inward-facing mirrors. A hidden cage lined with mirrors. It is strange, almost poetic, the elaborate fantasy of self-reflection, concealment, and captivity. Oh, the tarp. About to see what's under this tarp, homeboy! At the cage, she finally cast her spell. But it was confusing, she confided, at first. She took the magic doll, the magic glue, and the photo of her grandpa. And she combined them, and she wished very hard. I can only assume in this fantasy that next her wish would come true. In what child's story would it not? Hey, yo. Glue. What? Grandpa. Oh, I see. Okay. You're gonna be my new grandpa. Yeah! We did it! He's back! Oh my god! It's like he never left. A tangible symbol of intention and desire. She put Grandpa in the cage. Assuming that was part of the ritual, she was not clear on how it worked. What precise instructions she could glean from her grandfather's magic book was complicated by her reading comprehension. Yeah, damn bitch, same. She wished with all her heart, and then she told me she waited a while for something, anything to happen, and after that time, she began to cry. I cried really hard, she said. I wanted Grandpa to be back. I wanted my parents to stop being so mean. And it hurt me. It hurt me wish for my grandpa to come back, for my parents to be different. I could feel it through the walls, and it felt me through the air. I asked her what exactly she meant. She could only repeat what she said. By this time, lunch was almost over. I said goodbye to Adrian, and she left to rejoin her class. I was left to consider our conversation. I believe the storytelling strategy I have employed was not unfruitful, but I must probe deeper if I can. Although I can be sure of nothing I interpret, the impressions I get may begin to help me get an idea of the right questions to ask. Knowledge you acquired this week has given you access to certain topics or keywords you can discuss with Grandpa. What? You have gained the following conversation topic. Wish. Consider discussing this when Grandpa emerges. You have also gained the following keyword. Shell! What do you fucking mean emerges? I met again with Adrian in order to address her emotional outbursts in the past few weeks. Oh, excuse me, give me a second. It is our second time meeting, and while it is standard practice to have multiple sessions with a troubled student, as I assemble a report for the counseling department, I could not help but think, as we sat down in my office, that Adrian already seemed to show a remarkable change in self-esteem and confidence, and perhaps my and Mrs. Richardson's estimation of her as emotionally disturbed was erroneous. I like that word, erroneous. The paralyzing shyness and withdrawn attitude Adrian possessed last week was not entirely diminished, but she seemed to hold herself differently this week. However, this only lasted as long as our conversation pertained to initial introductory pleasantries. When I began, once again, asking her about her parents, her feelings regarding her new school and her new home, she quickly lost what new confidence she had gathered up and withdrew again into herself. So once again, I partook in some collaborative make-believe, but this time I was aided by the fact that I had emerged to do some research into Adrian's grandfather, and I had some insight into what she might actually be finding in the basement. Now, this may be overstepping my bounds some as a school counseling caseworker, but this was all in the service of making Adrian comfortable and happy in this learning environment. In any case, I was able to dig up information regarding the grandfather by inquiring at the university in town. Not that I make it a habit of sleuthing, but I had a suspicion that the grandfather was a professor there, or at least some sort of researcher, due to the fact that the newly constructed laboratory on the campus I drive by every day bears his name in memorial. He was some sort of anthropologist, or linguist, or neuroscientist? I don't know. Fuck, he could have been anything. Fuck it. I did not have to dig that deep before the scope of his work became dizzying and I ran up against the limits of my undergraduate education. But back to the make-believe. What is your grandpa like? Is he a smart man? Fine, fuck it, I'll voice the child. Not anymore, but I'm teaching him. She's a small British child now. So he's grown a good deal then. You've been feeding him well? Yeah, he's getting bigger. But he has a lot of room in his cage. He's still behind the bars?
Yeah, well, he might be able to climb out eventually. There's this vent in the ceiling.
Well, perhaps if he climbs out, I could beat him someday.
Yeah, maybe, but he's not ready to leave. He can't take care of himself. I have to feed him, pick up after him.
Ah, you store the food in your lunchbox? That's nice of you to share.
He can almost talk.
You cannot speak with him?
He doesn't have a mouth, sort of.
But how do you feed him?
He has a mouth on the outside, on his shell, or the stuff that is his skin.
I'm a little confused. Maybe you can go through a typical day with your grandpa.
Okay.
I asked her to explain how exactly she goes about growing her grandpa, and Adrienne began telling another tale. According to Adrienne, in the week that had passed, much had changed in the basement. Okay, clearly not that much. You should go see Grandpa first. Okay, I guess. What the fuck is this? For the sake of the university policy and the health of any future career you hope to have, you will abide by the non-disclosure contract you have signed. Do not break the anthropoidic vacuum without any prior consultation and approval. Any anthropoidic items brought into the enclosure area must not be left attended. When not in dormancy, the sample will attempt to take anthropoid shells. Please see shell notes for more info on that. Yeah, okay. I'm not reading all this shit. Wake, Grandpa. Hey, wake up! It was scary at first, she said. The way he moved, the way the doll's skin covered him. I wanted to interject. This somehow seemed inappropriate, but I kept listening. When I look at him, she continued, when I think about him, he grows and moves. It's like he's growing for me. So he's growing bigger now, I asked. Yes, she said, bigger every day. It's Grandpa! Wow! Looking great, looking healthy. This begins the actual growing part of growing your grandpa. Beneath the doll's burlap skin, the follicles knit together what resembles a proper person, your grandpa. You are in charge of its cognitive development and diet until it is able to sustain itself. Currently, you are observing Grandpa. Please click the arrow back button below for a brief tutorial on your duties as caretaker. Okay. Here we can see a variety of options regarding growing your grandpa. Highlighted in red are objectives related to feeding and teaching Grandpa. Important messages regarding Grandpa's recent activity will also appear here. You will need to find it food and learning material before you can move on to the next week. Some foods will make Grandpa happy, others merely content. Some foods will make Grandpa disgusted to the point of nausea. Learning materials also scattered throughout the basement. Seek out vocabulary cards intended to help teach English and basic anthropoidic concept formation. The options highlighted in red are related to navigating around Grandpa's enclosure. The Go to Grandpa option will let you perform all actions directly related to Grandpa, feeding, teaching, observing, etc. Accessing the Study Corner will let you see any documents you pick up as the weeks go by. It's a good idea to learn about the work of the people who last occupied this space. Accessing the kitchen counter will let you search for food in the old refrigerator and prepare food for Grandpa if need be. I'm gonna make him a marmalade sandwich. The help button will replay this tutorial. Save game button will save your current progress. You can only have one save file at a time, so if you have saved data, you will be asked if it is okay to overwrite it. Exiting and relaunching the game will allow you to load your save from the main menu by clicking the continue button. More buttons may or may not appear depending on the development of Grandpa, so watch out for them. One final note, take care to explore the basement at your leisure. However, due to the entropic nature of clutter and trash, different weeks may allow you to find things you had not previously discovered. Good luck. Okay. Feed Grandpa. 2 acceptable foods eaten. Seek things out to feed Grandpa. Teach Grandpa. Words taught. Find vocabulary cards to help Grandpa speak. Okay. Well, I have the words, I think, but we need to find him some food. Crypto Clyde, thank you for the full year. Appreciate it. Save game.
What's all this then?
Examine. The hairy thing that was here before is gone. That's it? Okay. Bulbous growth? Something appears to be growing from the wall. You take a closer look. Oh! Oh yeah, that's the bulbous growth. That's the pulsating sac. The slimy membrane that is its skin seems to contain something. Might be able to be opened with a blade. Yeah, sure. That makes sense. Trash pile. Stuff. All clean. The space will not be dirty again until next week. Hello! Huh. Teach Grandpa this word to read the notes of past educators. Okay. Corroded battery. This isn't really food. Grandpa might eat it, however. Okay, well, I don't think I want to feed that to Grandpa, to be honest. I think he deserves better. Examine. Trash. Yeah, I need light. Trash! Cabinet. Examine. Slouching under the weight of rot and refuse. Cabinet. What the fuck is that? All clean. Blueberries! Looks edible. Grandpa might like this. Oh yeah. Grandpa's gonna love this shit. Damn, those are some good fucking blueberries. Top drawer. God, there's so much trash in here. This place is a fucking mess. I see. Oh. An account of an acquisition. Examine this in detail. Before we began, he had us all cover our faces completely. An earthenware pot was illegible, and on the inside, as we stole brief glances at it, we could see the interior was inlaid with mirrors. The ineligible gave it small pieces of dough, spoiled food, chicken feed, ineligible, keeping it content. The keeper gestured towards the small bag where the food composted and told us to carefully not to feed it with any meat. I asked if the rotting food was enough to sustain it, how it might get nutrients from any of this. The keeper regarded me seriously and said it did not matter what it was fed. The act of feeding itself was what mattered. The act of feeding flesh is another act, however. He then gave me another series of grave warnings regarding not keeping any animal-derived foods near where I might be keeping it. Okay. So just don't give it meat? Oh, I need like a key. Safety! Look at this turtle. 1951. How about that? It's like Gremlins. It's like if you had a gremlin from Gremlins. Something about that painting looks strange. Yeah, I'd say. A folder full of radiographic images. Okay. Search the trash pile. I want to look at those images. I want to look at those goddamn images. This looks like meat. This looks like meat goop. Oh, never mind. It's fiberglass insulation. This isn't really food. Grandpa might eat it, however. Okay. Anything else? Another trash pile? The waste here smells particularly strong. Oh, there's gotta be meat in here. Gotta be some fucking flesh. Hey, what's that? All clean. A simple paper doll. Might be useful in the construction of magic symbols. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good to me. I think that's it. It's our food. Enter. Kitchen. Search upper. Oh, there's fridges too. Search upper fridge. What is this? Lettuce. It looks edible. Grandpa might like this. Grandpa's gonna fucking love this shit. Lower fridge. Is that a banana? Brown banana. It looks edible. Grandpa might like this. Yo. Prefer food, soft fruit or vegetable. Oh, I see. Okay. Soft fruit or vegetable, an unappealing item. We can only use banana? Let's do banana and fiberglass insulation. Sounds great. Conceal. The insulation is concealed in the browning banana flesh. Okay. We had to conceal. Okay, so we're concealing not food inside of food so that Grandpa will eat it. Alright. Study corner. Look over documents. Magic book. Hastily written note. Sample's exposure to some of our neuronal activity is unavoidable. However, the speed at which its desirous yield is produced can be dampened by several precautions regarding libidinal and emotional urges. Keep conversation not related to lab work at a minimum. Yeah. You begin to suspect you are developing attachments to your colleagues. Contact me as soon as possible. Jesus Christ. No fraternizing. Vocabulary card. Search file cabinet 1. What the fuck? What the fuck is that? Cashews! Looks edible. Grandpa might like this. All clean. An account of an acquisition. It was said to pass from one family of steppe people to another, but pressed on its ultimate origin, illegible, somewhere to the south, coiled in a bowl covered in incantations, buried upside down by a graveyard, common late antiquity demon trap. The keeper, an elderly man in failing health, was ready to expound on about the dangers of the organism, but when I asked more pointed questions about the history of its acquisition, I was given curt responses that had a way of circling back to vague warnings. Sure. Okay. File cabinet 2. so much fucking trash. They just put trash in the cabinets. Slopping it up over here. Grandpa! We could teach Grandpa the word grandpa. Wow. That's important. Wait, what's this shit? It's like tape or something. What the fuck is in here? You remove the taped down fabric to reveal the cabinet's wooden bottom. Hey, hey, hey! A note regarding cleanup procedures. To my colleagues, I don't mean to be overly severe in tone, but Dr. Hart's work is very important and the material we are working with is potentially very dangerous. I will be handing out a copy of this note as a reminder to everyone. I am not trying to single any particular person out. We all have misconceptions about the nature of this project from time to time. With that out of the way, here are some things to keep in mind. 1. The active growth must be thoroughly terminated via the correct procedures, at the very least 4 weeks after dormancy is interrupted. It doesn't matter what you've done or haven't done regarding tests or procedures or how much the anthropoidic vacuum has been disrupted, we are not ready to go beyond 4 weeks at this point. A step-by-step guide to termination has been posted by the enclosure wall. Please, please, please do not place the educational posters over this posting. 2. Do not disrupt the anthropoidic vacuum without Dr. Hart's prior consultation and approval. In case of any emergency where the vacuum is disrupted, put on your equipment and begin the lockdown procedure. Make an extensive note, I almost said expensive, extensive note of when and how the breach occurred. We spared no expense. If you find the habitat empty, page Dr. Hart immediately, but do not attempt to speak with anyone else. This thing can get very smart, I'm sure you're all well aware from the stories we heard on our acquisition trip. The greatest caution should be used when dealing with a potential aggressive mimicry scenario. Yo, what? Please seek me out if you have any more questions. You have gained a new conversation topic. Biohazard bin. What's this? Notation regarding sample exoskeletons. Research participants, please take note. Each growth from a cycle does not require a shell, but you may find the sample will often try and seize on something somewhat flexible it can grow into, along with any desirous yield it may generate, or else it will move from one shell to the next as it outgrows them. In the small amount of time I have spent with it in preparation, I have noticed it tends towards human forms. However, we should keep a tight lid on the anthropoidic seal in order to be cautious before we begin to experiment with exposing it long-term to anthropoid stimuli. Dr. Hart. It's time to stim. Medical imaging device. You slipped the radiographic images you found out at the machine's display. Oh, yeah. Yep. That's a good one. Intriguing results with regard to the mimic hypothesis. A participant entered a sealed chamber adjacent to Whisker's growth cycle number 21, which would have been freed from the anthropoidic vacuum, constructed quite economically from plastic and broken mirrors. The first propagation's original earthenware vacuum was shattered during the move-in. Between the two, there was a semi-opaque glass panel that allowed observation both ways. The human participant was asked to think of someone in the popular consciousness, fictional or no, and cogitate on their image, personality, face if possible, voice if possible, etc. Our participant chose Jesus of Nazareth, and within weekly repeated exposures to the participant's imaginings, propagation number 21 began forming what resembled an anthropoid Nazarene in the fold of its spines. Previous human-oriented tests have always bore out results a result that Whiskers would form an anthropoid team member, be it me or Dr. Hart or Gerald.
Just hopped in. How strong is Grandpa?
Unbeatable. Hibiscus, thank you for the 19 months. And we assumed it was merely mimicking one of us. Dr. Hart has always contended the desirous yield, or the anthropoid reproduction Whiskers creates when in contact with human beings, has always been based on the conception and relation to the person through someone else. This is some dense fucking writing. I'm like having trouble reading some of this. It's dry. With this framework, the desirous yield is not actually a replica of a person, or if it is only a replica of the fiction of a person generated in the mind of another. This desirous yield was not Jesus Christ, but the participants' image of Jesus, assembled from their religious upbringing, religious artwork, depictions in popular culture, etc. He was white. He was white, is what they're saying. This radiograph was taken right before the destruction of the growth cycle while Whiskers was rendered unconscious via fumigation. It seems like with every successive propagation, the stem cells in the organism work a little faster, but I'm not paranoid. It's technically deathless, yes, but we're burning up whatever knowledge it's gained when we incinerate it. I don't believe in magic just yet. Oh my god, there's more? Oh my god. We have taken to calling it Whiskers. Though, of course, some have interpreted it as hair or needles or quills, but Whiskers is more accurate, as the needles are really more like suprasensory follicles or spines. It's like reading actual, like, lab reports, so I get, you know, I guess I can't complain. But I will anyway. The nerves nets distributed throughout the morphology of these spines resemble those of genus Hydra, but have myelin sheaths that are functionally the same as vertebrae. As we can see in the X-ray, each spine is laden with dense optical arrangements similar to compound eyes. Ooh. Compound eyes are cool. The Hydra connection is assuredly worth investigating with regard to the organism's capacity for regeneration and anecdotal deathlessness. It is certain, it's certain is a robust enough creature to inspire marvel that is not untinged with fear. Yo, the Marvel shout out? Day 14 after dormancy, vacuum broken, no term at 16 days. Exposure to mammalian forms, part of a series of zoomorphic influences, led to further understanding of the propagation's ability to simulate the somatic stem cells that constitute fully developed animals. I write simulate in the previous statement because examining the tissue of each propagation leads me to believe its amazing capacity for accelerated growth of vastly different forms comes from its cell-level mutability. And yet at no time does it function as the thing it becomes, except in the sense that it mimics it. That is to say, when Whiskers is removed from dormancy and replicates a rabbit's morphology, it is not seeing from the rabbit's eyes nor smelling from the rabbit's nose, but pretending that it does and doing a very good job of it. It's the thing. It's the thing. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Day 10 after dormancy, vacuum broken, no term at 12 days. Wait, are these like out of order? Oh, they are. So this one was first, where it makes the whiskers. And then this one. And then this one. And then this one. This radiograph was taken at or around growth cycle number 4. The strange thing about it was that the subject of the image was found nowhere near the enclosure. It's almost like a piece of whiskers fell off and scurried into the corner. Like the thing? I feel like we've learned a lot since then, but at the time I remember speaking about the morphology being weird, not really even resembling any extant zoomorphic structure, besides maybe a cuttlefish. Then I happened to open the thing up. Inside were all these little dead amoeba-like things, but they all sort of looked like they had faces that were just barely there. After I took the radiograph, I gathered it up and went to go through it in the biohazard bin. As I walked by the bars of the enclosure, I could hear Whiskers suddenly going wild, flopping around and grunting excitedly. Could it have smelled the cuttlefish thing? Would it eat its own production? I guess it's technically flesh. This is beyond the scope of the project, but it could be that the stimulus of an active brain, or more specifically, a healthy and active brain capable of face recognition and theory of mind, Whiskers begins to pull whatever it can from the limited data available to it. Again, this is not our focus at this time, but I left a note for Dr. Hart just in case he wanted to take a look. Awesome. So, we have the thing, and it's in a jail cell, which happens in the movie The Thing, and it doesn't go super well for them. So, educational posters. Oh. Set of procedures regarding disposal, interment. 1. The researcher will seal off the enclosure bars, ensuring minimal gas leakage during the later fumigating process, and then retrieve the burn barrel and place it near the enclosure. Allow at least 48 hours of time where the current growth cycle experiences no human-related stimuli. Do not enter the enclosure area nor any part of the basement. Ideally, you will not be on the grounds at all. After 48 hours, 2 researchers will enter the basement wearing their assigned mirror mask, mirror apron, and looking like the Yu-Gi-Oh card copycat. Just holding a bunch of mirrors in front of them. The researcher will use the vent system to fumigate the enclosure area, wait 30 minutes, and then use the fan system to ventilate the enclosure. Keep the fans running during steps 3 through 4. Re-enter the enclosure area wearing your assigned mirror mask and apron. The organism may or may not be in complete dormancy. If it is not in full dormancy, be assured that its capacity to act against you will be greatly diminished. With your assigned powered drills, quickly remove any enclosure bars needed to access the organism. Put them aside for later reinstallation. Put the organism into the burn barrel. Incinerate the organism thoroughly. Wait for any smoke to be properly cleared by the fan system. They didn't try to feed the thing fiberglass, so maybe it'll work out this time. Yeah, you know, you're not supposed to eat that, is the thing. Turn off the fans. 1 researcher will retrieve the nucleus from the ash and place it in the mirror box. The other researchers will sift through the ash and place any other substantial remains in the biohazard bin in the room outside of the enclosure area. The bin is locked for safety purposes. The code is 323245. The researchers will fill out a termination form and leave it for Dr. Hart. Remember that, chat. 323245. I'm sure we'll need that or something. Because I'm not going to remember it. Okay. Awesome. Go to Grandpa. Actually, let's save the game first. Go to Grandpa. Observe. Yo, that's Grandpa. You examine Grandpa, noting its movements, respiration, and general mood. Grandpa seems sort of sluggish and bored. You get the feeling it may be more content and readily cooperative once fed and taught a word or two. Okay. Attempt to communicate. No response. Feed. Should we teach Grandpa or feed Grandpa first? What do you think comes first, chat? Fucking people in chat just typing in random numbers to fuck up the people who are actually trying to remember it. Feed? Okay. Would you like to view the tutorial before you start? You will not be... There's a tutorial for feeding too? This brief tutorial will cover the basics of feeding Grandpa. Via induction of your unprotected insula, Grandpa has simulated the production of tooth enamel to mimic a human's mouth. You will need to be fed through this in order to properly learn and grow. First, you will need to select an item from the lunchbox. Click on the lunchbox in the bottom right corner. Contents of the lunchbox will be displayed. Nice food, bad food. This is the menu every time I go to the restaurant. Select an item from the lunchbox. Doing so will fill your hand with this item. Note that any food can be put back into the lunchbox by clicking on the lunchbox with a full hand. Before Grandpa can be fed, it must judge the food by smell. Hover your hand above Grandpa's olfactory bulbs. If Grandpa is pleased, it will allow you to feed it. Most foods Grandpa will accept. However, getting Grandpa to consume other things requires some culinary deception. When Grandpa is willing to be fed, hover your hand over its mouth and click. Grandpa will then consume the food. Good luck on feeding Grandpa! You approach the small window. Oh. Holy shit. Click on Grandpa's nostrils. Grandpa is enticed by the smell. Concealed insulation. His nostrils? Where are his nostrils? Left of its mouth. Oh, these things. Grandpa is unable to detect the... Yeah, sure, whatever. Eat it! Although quickly consumed, the meal seems to be causing some indigestion. And with a sudden lurch, Grandpa empties its stomach onto the floor. No, Grandpa! The contents pull together in front of the cage. Oh, man! He fucking threw it up! Grandpa makes a plaintive whine, clearly disappointed in the lack of sustenance. It dejectively locomotes back to its favorite corner. No! Fuck! Well, go to Grandpa. Examine stomach contents. What the fuck is this? Oh. So it's good that we made him throw up. This might help you explore more of the basement. Okay, let's go do that. Where the fuck? There was a lock somewhere. It's like over here? No. Cabinet? Top drawer, bottom drawer. Here we go. Try the safe's lock with the key you found. And it pops open. Oh. A photo of your mother as a young woman. The recognition of this face kicks off a cascade of emotion and meaning deep within your psyche. Yeah, I bet. What's all this other shit? Okay. I don't think there were any more locked things, just that. Okay, so I have a photo of my mother, which I don't like very much. I don't like that kind of thing. Acceptable foods eaten. Kitchen corner. Okay, we have no, even though we have other stuff, we have no soft fruit or vegetable to hide this fucking battery inside of. I'm gonna, as soon as I find like a pear or an apple, dude, you're eating this fucking battery. Go to Grandpa, feed Grandpa. Let's feed Grandpa some cashews. Small handful of dusty cashews. Indifferent to the smell, but we'll accept this meal. Okay, well, what about some lettuce? Neutral reaction, this will sate its hunger. Okay, what about blueberries? Grandpa finds this palatable. Okay, that's better than just okay. The meal appears to have been sufficient. Okay, well, I guess we'll give him one more thing. We'll give him some... It is flaky and stiff. It's a single leaf of lettuce, that's why. Here you go, Grandpa. The meal appears to have been sufficient. Cool. Grandpa grunts in appreciation and locomotes towards its favorite corner. Feeding summary. Teach Grandpa! Tutorial, I guess? This brief tutorial will go over teaching Grandpa pronunciation and vocalization. The vocabulary word you picked will appear in the top left corner. In the bottom right corner will be a pentagon that is divided up into 8 sections. The sections of the pentagon will be highlighted briefly. A notification sound will play, and soon another section will be highlighted. You will control a small round icon that sits above the pentagon by using your mouse. The ball is concentrated to the limits of the pentagon. Oh, constrained. The goal is to keep your icon over the highlighted area and move it as the area changes sections around the pentagon. When you hold left click above the correct highlighted area, the icon will start to vibrate along with the simulated vocal cords, and the current letter of your word will begin to turn red. Okay. Keep holding it over the highlighted section and adjust your icon as it changes place. Soon the letter will become fully red. After every letter becomes red, Grandpa will proudly pronounce the word to you, and it will be considered learned. Teaching Grandpa these words will accelerate its cognitive development and lead to further breakthroughs in general intelligence. Okay, well, here's Grandpa. Oh, okay, it even says card number 1 and card number 2. So Grandpa comes first. No. Teach word Grandpa. You approach the small window. Am I doing this right? Yes. Yes, I am. Come on, you can do it. Say Grandpa. Say Grandpa. Come on. Deep within Grandpa, strange membranes phonate confidently. That was Grandpa? You can do better than that. Having completed the lesson, you take a look back at the vocabulary module card and the notes there written by the administrators of the past. Grandpa, part of vocabulary and vocalization module E81, family, general pronunciation comments, usual trouble with articulation, voice thin/raspy, possible underdeveloped larynx, module comments, see below. We've done several sessions of what we are calling the familial relation simulation. I and a co-researcher sit in chairs opposite to the enclosures. We are wearing the usual masks, and we begin to act out a scene, mostly through improvisation, that might roughly resemble a kitchen table conversation between an immediate family. Grandpa. Ugh. Repeated trials would reveal through our simulated conversation was purposely vague and unspecific regarding persons and identities. We would only address each other as brother, father, sister, etc. It soon became apparent the encoded information and associations we unconsciously draw upon when hearing and speaking these words was being picked up on by Whiskers and its psi-type field of reception/interpretation of brain and mind events, semantic content. My co-researcher William noticed this in a simulation where Whiskers was given a role as a sister and he as a brother. I was the father. Whiskers began responding to certain prompts with unusual specificity, as well as a general pattern and timbre of speech that continued with an unusual consistency. As soon as the simulation ended and we left the enclosure area, William let me know that Whiskers was almost certainly drawing from encoded memories of his late sister, mapping out exactly what regions and centers of neural activity are intercepted by the psi-type field. Will take extensive neuroimaging that we do not have at the site currently. We only have less precise portable equipment. However, our existences so far are eerily in line with folk knowledge and folk explanations regarding the being's access to desires, and we can begin to infer it has access to certain portions of the limbic system and the ventral temporal cortex. Jesus Christ. Ugh. You step away from the bars and store the module card at the document table. Fuck, Grandpa, you're running me dry over here. Grandpa Whiskers. Go to Grandpa. Teach Grandpa. Hello. Each word hello. Oh, he's trying so hard. Was that hello? Did that sound like hello? Having completed the lesson, you take a look at the vocabulary module. Hello! Part of a vocabulary and vocalization module A2, Conversational Basics. General pronunciation comments. Sloppy articulation. See below. He's trying, I know. We are already encountering some difficulty as Whisker's subjectivity is so much determined by a diverse and dynamic array of influences. It attempts to mimic the thoughts and desires it passively intercepts, and these imitations go on to structure the basis of its identity. Only later in Whisker's growth cycle does it begin to form an identity or identities that are coherent and capable of resembling a sane, rational human being when engaged in conversation. One must imagine how hard it would be to converse with someone who is not yet oriented in one particular way towards who or how they are, because they might have 20 different honest answers to those questions, all of them mixed and muddled together. Because of this, we have started with the basics of conversation, greetings, partings, identifying one another, forming questions, etc. It is unfortunate Whisker's current growth, number 19 I believe, has developed a mostly accurate human mouth simulation. Hello was a bit of a challenge in the previous growth, as it had failed to develop an adequate organ to act as a human tongue. Yeah, I imagine that must be kind of hard. I guess that's it, right? Go to Grandpa, attempt to observe. Grandpa appears content and ready to cooperate. Attempt to communicate. Grandpa accedes your request. It approaches the bars and begins to unknit its skin. Oh. The inner Grandpa, though still not fully formed, is revealed. It may be fruitful to speak with it if it can respond. Oh my god! Ask about Wish. Dude, look at inner Grandpa. With a great deal of effort, Grandpa gurgles fragmented thoughts through its ill-formed lips. Mother, will father. New lives out of the air. The dark, spiny filaments that make up the majority of Grandpa's body begin to oscillate rapidly. The air behind your eyes. I can taste it. Oh? Okay, ask about Grandpa's shell. With a great deal of effort, blah, blah, blah. Skin. My body. All human skin around me. Give more! Grow more to fit. Ask about the biohazard bin. It fails to produce more than a wet and frustrated sputtering noise. Okay, he doesn't like the biohazard bin. Goodbye. Grandpa silently ascends back to its shell. Okay. Goodbye, Grandpa. Save game. End week. Food acquired. Battery, blueberries, fiberglass insulation, lettuce, banana, concealed insulation, cashews. That's a lot of shit. Knowledge you acquired this week has given you access to new conversation topics to discuss with Grandpa. Language! Cool. Mrs. Richards approached me the other day in order to remark on Adrian's development. She noted how much more at ease she appeared when called upon in class, or when asked to participate in group exercises. I told her I had seen this change happening as well, and that, as much as I would like to take credit for it, I can only guess dimly at what might be reshaping her attitude. Sorry, this is like wearing down my voice reading so much. Mrs. Richards posited that it was perhaps Adrian's family moving into their grandfather's property that caused the change. It apparently is out in the country in a wooded area full of wide open space and far from the bustle and noise of the city. The bustle. The grandfather, Dr. Jacob Hart, had jointly purchased the land with the university he was employed with and began constructing what he was intending to be a satellite campus for a burgeoning psychological anthropology program he had a hand in establishing.
Stop praying for my grandpa. He's becoming too powerful.
I know, I'm wetting my fucking vocal cords. It's not helping. Guller Koopa, they give me the 11 months. I'm gonna go drink some milk to make it worse. Only one building had ever ended up being constructed after Dr. Hart died in a car accident when driving back from the property one day. Eerily, at almost the same time, a grad student who was assisting Dr. Hart on some sort of project at the property vanished without a trace. The property sat in disuse for years, and it was tied up in legal battles between Dr. Hart's next of kin, the university, the vanished grad student's family, and the other students Dr. Hart was working with. Eventually, the case was settled out of court. Only recently did the property fall into the possession of Adrian's mother. Obviously, I was not going to relay this whole tragic story to Adrian, who, for all I know, believes her grandpa to still be living in the basement of his home. Besides, I thought, she might already know all of this. Perhaps the elaborate story she was constructing was her own way of escaping the morbid details of a life, or perhaps lives, cut short by the cruel force of fate and the cynical adults who squabbled in the aftermath. I determined perhaps the storytelling she was and continues to engage in should not be encouraged by me, at least not in the way I went about it before, where I made active inquiries into her strange fantasy of a semi-sentient ball of skin. When I saw Adrian, I did not bring up her grandpa or ask questions about his growth. Adrian could not stop talking about it, however. I had no choice but to weather her bizarre and enthusiastic effusions about her new best friend. Oh god, this is the scariest child in the world. Adrian, maybe we can talk about something else. I'm not sure I'm following you exactly.
He's gotten so big. He has so many whiskers that come out, and I can see them move around when I think about him.
I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm so happy Grandpa is back. He's so much cooler than Mom and Dad.
Dude, Foxy Grandpa. Once again, for what it's worth, I have put down the story she told me as best as I could. Adrian once again told me about growing her grandpa. Here we are. Let's, check on stuff, I guess. Let's check the trash pile. Indecision. Okay. Teach Grandpa the word indecision. Oh. All clean. Bulbous growth. Yet another pulsating sac grows in this corner of the basement. This is a different one. Seems like it could be easily opened with a sharp edge. Can I use like a key or something? No, probably not. I need a knife. Search painting. Yeah. Same painting. Trash pile. Ooh.
What's all this then?
A potato! I can hide something in that, probably. Looks edible. Grandpa might like this. Life. That's a pretty important word. We want what you have. Life! Slouching under the weight in its rotten refuse. Xbox Live! Okay, there's nothing here. That's fine. I want to like dig around in here and like pick up these like doll faces. What's their deal? Okay, we can't do anything with that. This thing. Yep, it's gone. Trash. Hey, hey, hey! What's that over there? A kiwi! Mmm. Delicioso. I wish you could watch Morbius with Grandpa.
Grandpa, it's Morbid time! I want to watch Morbius.
A pulsating sac grows in the corner. Yeah. Of course. Save game. Go to study corner. File cabinet.
Grandpa, I want to watch my favorite movie, Morbius. With Jared Leto.
Gotta be some shit in here. Nothing? There's nothing! Okay. Same shit. All right. I guess let's feed and teach Grandpa. Kitchen corner. Oh, right, the fridge. I forgot. Oh, a pear. Shout out to all the pear. I like pear. Strawberry. Looks edible. I love pear. Shout out to all the pear. Let's use the potato to hide a battery inside of. He'll never suspect a thing. If I gave you a potato and there was a battery inside of it, you'd probably just eat it. You wouldn't think anything of it. Classic prank you can pull on anybody. Go to Grandpa. Observe. You examine Grandpa, noting its movements, blah, blah, blah. Grandpa's gums are bleeding slightly, and its skin seems overly dry. It may need a food packed with vitamin C. A kiwi fruit would be an excellent remedy. Okay, so give him the kiwi after. Feed Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa, you want a nice potato? Potatoes. Yeah, looks good, huh? Here you go. Although quickly consumed, the meal seems to be causing some indigestion. No, Grandpa, you made a mess! I'm gonna have to clean that up. Go to Grandpa, 7 contents, scissors! A bit rusty, but still perfectly usable. Hell yeah, I know exactly what to do with these. I'll be right back, Grandpa. Hold on. I know you're hungry, I'll be right back. The bulbous growth. You carefully make an incision into the growth with your scissors. It's now possible to take a look inside. Ugh. You peer into the small opening created by your incision. In the oily cavity, a powerful smell of rot arises, and many small, increate beings lay motionless and dead. However, you just barely hear the near-silent slithering of something, or maybe it's just your imagination. Oh, gosh. Oh, so much goop in here. Let me get that off of you, sir. You got so much fucking oh my god! What the fuck is that? Anthropoid remnant. A self-sufficient animal form knit together from years of ambient thoughts left to crawl around the basement. Grandpa may enjoy the flesh. Little friends! Oh no, chat. I mean, we were told to never feed it flesh. Bulbous growth. Carefully make an incision. Yeah. Slithering. Yep. Ah! There's another one! Is there more than one in here? Grandpa may enjoy the flesh. Chad, I don't know. I mean... You remember what they said about flesh, right? Cause I super don't. What did they say? I think they said that he loves flesh and that you should feed it to him whenever possible. Right? Go to Grandpa. Eat Grandpa. First of all, you need to get your nutrients. So here's a kiwi. Indifferent to the smell. It smells delicious. You're indifferent. The meal appears to have been sufficient. Okay, chat. What do we feed it next? What do you think? Wow, you know what? A lot of people saying cashews. I'm just giving him cashews. Okay. There you go, Grandpa. Who's ready to learn? Go to the study corner. Or, no, not that. Go to Grandpa. Teach, Grandpa. Indecision. Number 3. He is trying so hard. This is a big, long word, Grandpa. I'm very proud of you. Uh-oh. I just clicked off the game. Oops. Grandpa, come on, what the? I keep clicking off the screen on accident. It's kind of annoying. Grandpa. Say indecision. Why is it not working? The fuck is this?
Grandpa.
There we go. Yeah, my whole... Hold on, I need to fix this. My whole chat on the side is highlighted because my fucking mouse was like clicking on the other screen. Indecision! I'm barely positive. Thank you for the 8 months. I work in a retirement home and grandpas are like this. My mom works in a retirement home, so she would probably say the same. Having completed the lesson, you take a look back at the vocabulary module. Indecision, part of the vocabulary and vocalization module F23, theory of mind. General pronunciation comments. Articulation problems, possibly trouble with diphthongs? Diphthongs? Module comments, see below. We are introducing the latest growth of whiskers to more subtle social cues and testing its ability to judge mental states of participants in conversation. The semantic content that flows to whiskers via its psi field is still becoming muddled and slipped without distinction into conversation, although our intention of instilling in it a solid theory of mind will perhaps make it begin to understand that we do not know what it knows, or know what we are without our control sending to it. One would think a theory of mind seems to hold on. One would think a theory of mind seems to develop as part of its maturation process. In order to hunt sapient beings, it must be able to deceive them. Dude, they're talking about trick theory! It must be able to deceive them. In order to deceive, it must be able to make certain metacognitive judgments. For example, if their deception appears to be working, or how one ought to be deceived. It's fucking learning trick theory, dude! We may never see it develop a theory of mind anytime soon, as Dr. Hart has disallowed a cycle of whiskers growth to live into the beginnings of maturity. Okay. Each grandpa. Life. Life. See, this keeps fucking happening. It's fucking... I wish it wasn't in, like, borderless. I wish it was just full screen, so it wouldn't do that.
We want what you have. Life.
Come on, it's not a long word, Grandpa. Hey, you know what? Okay, that wasn't so bad. That was not so bad. I heard life. Part of vocabulary and vocalization module P29 concept formation. General pronunciation comments? None. Yeah, right? It was pretty good. At week 3 of growth number 24, Whiskers appeared to recall some information from a previous growth cycle. We cannot be sure that this was really the case. For all we know, what we interpreted as it recollecting this information was really it drawing semantic content from one of our recollections of it and redeploying it without rationality or contextualization. For the sake of our safety and for the sake of the scientific inquiry, we are attempting to draw out from Whiskers whether it somehow retains knowledge from previous cycles in its morpholactic nucleus. We did not think it was possible the nucleus, though complex and incredible in its regenerative abilities, was capable of this, and that the nerve network that grew from it made up the base of Whiskers' mind. And so we are now attempting to ask Whiskers, as best we can, if it has ever died, or what it might remember if it did. Hey, have you ever died? Content and ready to cooperate. The inner grandpa! Look at this guy. He looks different from last time, doesn't he? A little bit. Chad, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some more water and stuff. Then we'll continue. Ugh, it's like I'm allergic to Grandpa. Ugh. Something about it. Sorry, something about him. Ask about language. Grandpa still struggles somewhat to speak due to its underdeveloped tongue, mouth, and jaw. However, it manages to rasp out an answer. He's got like a face now. Grandpa is old. My lives were easier before I made myself to speak, and before you made clothes to wear and rules to obey. Your grandpa remembers. I have learned much in many lives and deaths. Keep speaking with me. I love talking with you and learning from you, and it helps your grandpa so much. Soon I will be everything you would like me to be. Okay, so do you have anything to say about language? Or... Because, like, that's what I asked about, Grandpa. Ask about little friends. The little ones. They grew like seeds off my skin. Worms fall off my body. Thoughts falling off of me. Dreams put there by others. When I was under the ground, I made only very few. Shepherds walked through the grave, and I saw them lusting for their wives, and my skin made their loving faces. I called them out into the darkness with their loved voices. One by one, I took their shapes and their skin and blood. That was a long time ago. Before stone buildings, before the orders of angels and words and symbols. I'm sorry, Grandpa is thinking, but there's a little left over from others too. I am still so hungry for flesh. Part of me is. I would even eat one of them that fell off of me. I can't help it. They grow off of me. They fall off and grow in the dark, grow around me. Okay, goodbye, Grandpa! Grandpa silently ascends back into its shell. Nice talking to you, Grandpa. Well, that ends week 3. Right? Oh, we need to feed him 3 things? Oh, okay. I didn't know. Feed Grandpa. What do you think, chat? We have 4 options. Well, 3 options. Sort of. I don't know. He said he was hungry for those little guys. He sounded like he really wanted one. And I don't want to disappoint my grandpa. Hey, hunger's for them, right? Please, he is so hungry for flesh. Okay, Grandpa, here you go. Ooh, Grandpa Season's excited by the smell of the flesh. Oh, he wants that shit bad. Here you go, Grandpa. Oh, yeah. The meal appears to have been particularly well received. Your offering of flesh stirs something within Grandpa. From within the folds of its body, a wiry, proboscis-like appendage begins to emerge. It may be worth taking a look at after the feeding. Knowledge you have recently acquired has given you access to new conversation topics to discuss with Grandpa. Proboscis! Yeah, I bet. Grandpa grunts in appreciation. He liked that shit. He liked it. He liked it a lot. Grandpa's proboscis is out! He's got his whole shit out! Grandpa! Examine proboscis. You motion to Grandpa to approach and point to the thin proboscis. Grandpa silently ambles closer to the bars and fully extends it towards you. Grandpa, no! Grandpa, put your fucking proboscis away! A minuscule needle extends from its tip. There appears to be one more thing you must give, if only for the sake of propriety. Give? You want some glue? I grab the proboscis. You want another... You wanna... Yeah. You want... Oh, wait, I can't. It actually doesn't let me. Oh, shit! Tangible symbol of intention and desire. I didn't even realize we could put those together. Okay, well, I don't know what I can do for him. We'll figure out what to give Grandpa with his fucking proboscis next week, I guess. Go to Grandpa. Examine proboscis. Oh, offer mother doll. Grandpa doesn't appear to be interested at the moment. Okay. Attempt to communicate. The inner Grandpa! Hi, Grandpa. What's up with your proboscis? Yes, that is a part like a tongue. I was lost in the mountains and so thirsty. I was walking up a hill and found a lamb and drank from it with my tongue. And I fell asleep for a long time. Yo, this is fucking El Chupacabra. I woke up as a half-formed child. I had died before. My grieving mother had remade me. We had made a contract, and she completed it. I do not remember more. Awesome. Thanks, Grandpa. Goodbye. Alright, well, that's all we can do. So, let's end the week. Pear. I love pear. Shout out to all the pear. Week 4. The time I have to spend compiling an evaluation on Adrian is almost up, and I still can't say what to make of her changes in mood. It is of course the case that children of Adrian's age are nowhere near finished learning and growing. I may have to simply be happy that Adrian was able to improve her attitude. However, something in the odd and occasionally grotesque stories she continues to bring up to me still strike me as meaningful. How has your week been, Adrian?
Grandpa's almost ready. He's almost finished. Well, sort of.
Ah.
He's almost as big as his shell now. He has a face, and he can talk pretty well, and almost has legs.
I see. As before, I have put down the story she told me as best as I could. Once again, Adrian told me about growing her grandpa. What's going on over here? Nothing. What's going on over here? Trash. Hey, is that a bar of soap? Am I gonna hide a bar of soap inside something? Bar of soap. This isn't really food. Grandpa might eat it, however. Bulbous growth. Oh, okay, you can check these again, too. You know, for extra meat. All clean. Nothing here. Cabinet. Ooh.
What's all this then?
Meaning. Okay. It's a good word. Top drawer. Will there be something in here this time? No! Fuck. Bottom drawer. Wait, there's another bulbous growth? There's 3 of them now? Gross. Ah! Little guy. The third one! Grandpa may enjoy the flesh. All clean. Awesome. Trash pile. Search painting. Nothing on this fucking painting still.
And they don't stop coming.
Burner. What is that? Is that bread? Oh, it's flatbread. Looks edible. Grandpa might like this. I could probably hide something in flatbread, right? Trash pile. What the fuck is that? Mushroom! Symbol. Okay. To Grandpa's room. Save. Study corner. Here, cabinet. Got so much shit in your office. All clean. Nothing. Kitchen corner. The fridge. An apple! An apple! A jackfruit! Sure, yeah, why not? Good thing they keep giving us a different variety of fruits and veg. Very, very thoughtful of them. Let's hide it in an apple! A classic bar of soap inside an apple trick. An apple! Okay. I think that's it. Go to Grandpa. Oh, you look kind of weird, Grandpa. Grandpa seems fatigued and almost anemic. Some of its spines appear brittle. Perhaps it would be more cooperative if fed an iron-rich meal like meat. Like meat! Feed Grandpa. You hear that? Concealed soap. Is that what you meant? You want soap inside of an apple? Here you go. Grandpa, you threw up! Sorry, Grandpa. He's dejected. Dejected as fuck. Oh, he's like in a different pose now. Yes! Oh my god, a flashlight. I'll be right back, Grandpa. Back this way. Yeah, dude! What's in the waste bin? Chat, what was that code? I need you! Three, 2, 3, 2, 4, 5. Oh, you're a lifesaver. 8. Thank you, chat. The lid unlocks, and with some effort, you move the heavy lid off the bin. photo of your father as a young man. I guess that's it. Can't do much else. Bookshelf. A simple paper doll. Classic of alchemy. Do I want to read this?
On the virtue of the prudent when dealing with devils, seen or unseen. The splendors and terrors of God's creations inhabit the world of both seen and unseen, and just as one will not grapple with a lion lest they be a fool, one will not approach a being of mind or ether without foreknowledge thereof. There are beings with no form, hiding between towering columns of air, and only appearing by slipping into the heart or mind of evil and unclean men. But still I'm not reading all this. Sorry, it's not happening. Gluing this shit together. Glue! Okay, sick. That's everything. To the door. Go to Grandpa. Feed Grandpa. Or should I offer one of these? Grandpa is not interested at the moment. Okay, feed Grandpa. Now, Grandpa, it sounded like you said you needed some meat? That you were looking pretty rough and that you needed some protein in your diet? I got just the thing, bro. Huh? Huh? Oh yeah, you like that. Yeah, there you go. The meal appears to have been particularly well received. My compliments to the chef. Did he stick his fucking proboscis out? You freak. How many things do I have to feed him? Hold on. Digestible food, 3 things. Okay, gotcha. So 2 more. Do you want this? Okay, he doesn't want that still. Feed Grandpa. Peepaw! Food time! Peepaw, you wanna... what was the other thing we could hide stuff in? Mushroom? I forget. Peepaw, you want some flatbread? Some flattened, dried dough, moldy and stiff? Here you go. Delicious, yeah. What about another little guy? You want a little guy? I know you want a little guy. Oh, Grandpa's desire for flesh has been sated. Okay, so he doesn't want more meat. How about a strawberry? Huh? The meal appears to have been sufficient. Awesome. Okay, Grandpa, it's time to learn some words. Next, you're gonna learn meaning. Okay, let's hope I don't click off my screen again, because it'll be super dumb, and it almost just happened. It damn near just happened. I saw my mouse go to the other screen, but I didn't click. Come on, Grandpa. Help me out here.
He's going crazy. Yo, my grandpa, he's crazy on the vocab. He could say like 5 different words. Hey! He's getting a lot better at this whole saying words shit. Meaning, part of vocabulary and vocalization module J11, metacognition / higher thought. General pronunciation comments, none. We further delve into abstraction with Whiskers, partially or perhaps for the most part, for the purpose of determining the origin of its recollections that precede its death. Dr. Hart has begun to theorize that in the process of death, the structure of Whiskers is compressed back into the morpholactic nucleus, and then later, upon reestablishing the nerve netting that is laced through its spines, is slowly reassembled and redeployed as needed. I do not think this is the case, for I can plainly see that for growth cycles in which Whiskers is not receiving our pronunciation and vocabulary lessons, that its capacity general for comprehending its environment is greatly diminished. And in simulated conversations we carry out, Whiskers struggles greatly or else does not participate. In any case, we will press on with our lessons and heed Dr. Hart's caution regarding terminating the growth cycle before Whiskers' allotted growth time passes, or if it appears to be becoming just a little too competent at appearing human. Just a little too good at it. Okay, another word. Here you go, Grandpa. Symbol. Yes, symbol. You'll like this one. Easy 2-syllable word. Come on, Grandpa. Work with me here. Grandpa, just say the word. Just say symbol. It's so easy. Symbol. Symbol. There we go. That's too clear. You're getting too good at this. I don't like that. Meaning, part of vocabulary and vocalization module J15, metacognition / higher thought. General pronunciation comments. There is nothing. There appears to be nothing written here, or if there was, it was thoroughly erased. Step away from the bars. He's too good at this. He's speaking English too clearly. Go to Grandpa. Grandpa appears content and ready to cooperate. Okay. Let's communicate, brother. Grandpa accedes your request and approaches the bars and begins to unknit its skin. The inner Grandpa, though still not fully formed, is revealed. Oh my god! Inner Grandpa is like huge! Wait, are his answers to the other ones like better now? Now that he like speaks better, I wonder? Grandpa look at him, that's Grandpa! Grandpa loudly clears its throat before gently responding in a lucid, well-projected voice. Oh, you're asking me about your wish? When you wished for me to come back, that's when I knew I would. Your desperation was strong, and your wish for your parents, well, if you give me what I want, I'll give you what you want. You know I love you. I am for whatever you want, and I love you just as much as you love me. But desperation and love is not enough. People deep down know they can't get what they wish for without some transformation. There's something that sits at the root of everyone's soul that understands the separation between them and eternity. You may desire something you know you will not get without some movement on your part. So it is not enough to just wish, which you know will not work. You must wish and a little more to transform your intention into something that might, fructify? Or for desire to become reality. Wow, he's got like really lengthy answers now. Ah, you're asking me about my shell? Oh, well, you see, I like to have something to grow in, something shaped like a person. It just helps to have something surrounding me when I don't have my skin. My whiskers do the growing. My whiskers? Yes, you know, the hairy little things. I am part of it, and it is part of me. However, my whiskers are what heard you wishing for me to come back, and so they went to work in the shell you provided. The shell also helps you envision me as what you desire. You have such a nice imagination. If I weren't in my shell, you'd have my whiskers exposed and knitting together my face. That might interrupt the feedback loop of my reading your desires, and then acting upon the desires I have read, and then once again reading your reaction. We wouldn't want that interfered with. The material of the doll you put down is good fit. It's not the most comfortable, but it is quite flexible, and thankfully my shell was able to adjust nicely to my growth. Grandpa's like cool. Grandpa's like kind of swag. You're asking about the medical waste bin? I believe it's locked up. I heard them punch it in the code many times as they placed part of the burnt up dying self into the bin. They often forgot what the code was and had to go check on the wall where they were always taping up sheets upon sheets of information. So much so that the new papers would cover the old. What do you think you would find in there? Well, perhaps something they did throw trash inside from time to time, bits of paper and so forth. I remember seeing a man who looked quite like me. His daughter had given him a photo of her new boyfriend. Oh yeah, that's Dad. He threw it in. Wait, hold on, shit! He's fucking... Okay, he's referring to himself as, like, Grandpa. Like, he's literally Grandpa. He threw it into the bin in disgust and joked with one of his colleagues. It may still be in there for all I know. Thanks, Grandpa. Okay, what about language? You said some real creepy shit last time I asked you about language. You're asking me about language? Well, the more you taught me, the more I was able to learn myself by hearing what you are thinking and saying. A week ago, I could speak a little bit, but I was less of what you imagined me to be and not quite the talker I am at the moment. Part of what I'm saying is, of course, made up of what you expect me to say. I think I am very comfortable being open and honest with you because I am your grandpa, and I love you, and certainly that makes up part of what I am. This is like like conceptually, this is like a really fucked up and like cool concept. However, there is a part of me deeper down, the thing that created me maybe, that undying nucleus. It is answering for me as well, and is unaffected by whoever might shape what I become with their thoughts. You're asking me about my little friends? Well, yes, they come from me. They grow around me in pockets of flesh and protoplasm. Think of them like dreams, maybe. I'll explain. Have you ever had a dream that was sort of like a bunch of people, places, and events you experienced, all mixed up together and jumbled up? It's a sorting through and disposing of the refuse of the mind. My little friends are like that, refuse, and in ridding myself of them, I am casting off the excess material I did not use in developing life forms. Anyone who comes close to me, well, they are my eyes, my nose, my skin. Their thoughts become mine and shape what I make. However, when I was alone for so long, I didn't have a lot of people near me. What you are thinking and expecting of me is shaping what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. Do you understand? And so, because I did not have enough input from my surroundings in order to put the material to use, the material falls off my body, crawls away, and usually dies. I'm able to make the most of my material when someone is looking right at me, projecting who I will be, like you are now. What you are thinking and expecting of me is shaping what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. Do you understand? Yeah, I understand, Grandpa. Come on. What about your proboscis? Oh, you're asking me about my proboscis? It's just a little tube I need to help me feed on blood. You could say it is my real mouth, but it's not really a mouth. It appeared because you fed me flesh, one of those little friends you found, I think. You feeding me flesh was a symbol, a proposition, if you will, that you wanted to hold up your end of the bargain with regards to your wish. If someone is willing to hold up their end of the bargain and let me feed on them with my proboscis, then they can move on to the next step of the agreement, providing me symbolic instructions. I hope that helps clear things up. Oh, you have another question? Do I like the blood? Well, my whiskers, I believe they like the blood and the flesh. It's strange. They are me, and yet they are now me. I am bound to them. They control me. And technically, yes, they did make me. However, you were the one who really grew me. In some ways, those whiskers, they are me, or a part of myself, or I am a part of it. That part is much more animal-like. Whatever might happen, know that I will always love you, and because it controls me, I might not be able to act how I would like, even if I do love you. Okay, goodbye, Grandpa! Awesome! What do we do with these fucking dolls? I can't give them to him. Examine proboscis. Oh! There we go! I can't believe I didn't try that before. Grandpa has appreciated your blood offering. It will receive a symbol or totem from you now, although only one per offering. As the blood-fed proboscis retracts back into the folds of fabric, you step away from the bars. Offer mother doll. You approach the bars and hold out the mother symbol you created. Grandpa's spines quickly reach out and envelop the doll before drawing back. The doll quickly vanishes within the folds of Grandpa's skin. Constructing and then offering your mother's image to Grandpa, symbolically sated by blood, instills in you a concrete sense of completion. Grandpa gives a soft, affirming grunt as it senses deep within your mind the ritual transformation of your desire. Although Grandpa must receive both a mother and father totem before the fulfillment of your wish is assured. Okay. Well, I don't know if we'll have time. Will there even be another week for us to give him the father doll? Because we can't do it again. Let's find out. Ha 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 ha. End week. Subordination of hidden beings. Week 5! Oh, thank God. What? Who could that be? Come in. Ah, Adrian. Good to see you. Aren't you a little early? No matter. I suppose I have some time now. How have you been? How's your grandpa doing?
That's why I wanted to talk to you. Something happened.
Oh, what happened? Nothing bad, I hope.
No, nothing bad. Just different, I think. Maybe even good. Well, I'll tell you about it. Well, last night, something woke me up. There was this noise at first. It was like it came from the walls. I could hear it from my bedroom. But there was something else. Something calling. I could hear it just barely. I was afraid somehow Grandpa hurt himself. I had to go find out.
Grandpa, no!
I went downstairs in the vent, the place where I first found Grandpa, or what I grew him with. It was open. Do you remember how I told you about the vent in the ceiling behind the bars? I was thinking he had climbed up into it. He had gotten so big, he could have done that. Maybe he could have gotten trapped somehow in the vent. I had to go see.
Dude, Grandpa vented.
I got inside. I heard the calling again, more clearly this time. Grandpa was definitely in the vent somewhere. I could feel him hearing my thoughts. I got that weird feeling, a sense in the air. I had to go forward.
Yeah, shit, why not? Cool. Cool.
As I moved in closer, the vent had stuff in it. The kind of slimy, hairy stuff Grandpa would leave around a lot. He was definitely close. Something was there at the end. But it wasn't Grandpa. It looked maybe like he had made it, though.
What the fuck, dude? Ugh.
It was slumped in the corner, had a weird mouth, and it had its lungs on the outside and drew in just enough air to call out. And then it just stopped. Stopped breathing. And then something was hanging over me.
It's Grandpa! Ooga booga boogie!
And then I woke up in my bed.
In your bed? Adrian, it sounds like it was just quite a dreadful dream. Are you alright, by the way? Your face is twitching like you're about to have a violent sneeze.
I'm fine. It's just Grandpa, you see. It took me a little while to figure it out, but later when I was brushing my teeth, I saw one of Grandpa's whiskers poking just out of the space under my eye. And I started to remember how in the vent he hid inside of me. It was so fast, I could barely remember. But soon I started to feel him sliding around in my head, behind my forehead, and behind my eyes and nose. It doesn't hurt at all, it's just ticklish. I'm glad I can be with him. Oh, I can feel him now. I think he wants to meet you. Part of him is moving down my arm. Oh.
I'm starting to get worried, Adrian. You really should not be twitching like this. I should walk you to the nurse's office. Come on, let's go.
You should really meet him. I've told you so much about him. Here.
What are you doing, Adrian? You're starting to look very ill.
Please, just wait. Just stay still. He's gathering, waiting at my fingertips. Why do you look like that? You don't have to be afraid. Look.
Oh, there are two endings? I got the failure one? Oh, man. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't fulfill the deal. Well, let's play it again. Hey, why not? Right? Continue. When did we save last? What week is it? We saved right before the end of the 4th week, so we don't have time. No, we can't do it. We can manage another go. Yeah, whatever. Get through all this shit. Yeah, if it's on YouTube, I'll just watch it. Hold up. Let's do that now. Growing my grandpa ending. All endings for my grandpa. Where is the ending we need? Let's receive a father and mother. Hold on.
Put there long ago.
Is this a fucking dude reading it? Fuck yourself, bro. I don't want that. ABG has both? Who's that? Oh, Alpha Beta Gamer? That's a different one.
Come.
Dude, Grandpa. Is it this? Went down the stairs like I always did. Week 5! Angry video game nerd. Met with Adrienne one final time in order to see if I could not reach some sort of resolution regarding her emotional trouble. In these past few weeks, according to the reports of her teachers and peers, she has shown a remarkable transformation in conduct. I would also add my voice to this consensus. It seems as if our time together much has changed for the better. Not suggesting our meetings were the sole source of her sea change. I think something has happened in her home life that has reoriented Adrienne completely. She's got her grandpa back. She got a fresh new grandpa. Still sealed in the box. She seems to suggest as much, at least in her usually esoteric way when we last spoke. Something tells me something may have changed with Grandpa.
Yes, well, something did change.
I will write down her words verbatim here.
I went down the stairs like I always did, but I sort of felt like something was different. My parents weren't arguing, and I felt something had changed with Grandpa, too. There was a weird noise, but I wasn't afraid.
Oh, okay. The door. Jesus Christ. Loudest video on Earth. Ah! Mother and father!
think Grandpa had to leave, but before he left, he made my parents nice. He reached inside and changed them. That was my wish.
Look at Grandpa!
Maybe even what I was growing wasn't really my grandpa. Grandpa left what I was growing behind.
He's a husk.
He's gone now. He moved quickly out to I don't know where, but I'll always love him.
I just missed Adrian soon after, letting her know it was a pleasure getting to know her. Despite my apprehensiveness about the speed of the turnaround she has made, I cannot see any reason why Adrian should be considered for further evaluation. And as a counselor for Adrian, let it be known that I believe she is of sound mental and emotional health. I am pleased to see things turn around this way, and if I may make a brief addendum, by happenstance, Miss Richardson bumped into the Hart family the other day while running an errand. She told me the parents were a little odd, but very pleasant, and quite clearly they adored their child. And that she had never seen Adrian happier. Yeah! Happy family! Happy fucking family. Check it out, chat. That's gonna be the stream for tonight. I had no idea how long this game was gonna last me, so I was just like, I'll just play this and then see how it goes from there. Cool game, very cool game. I really like Yames's stuff, and this was not a disappointment whatsoever. All their games that I've played before this are like, they all last like 15 minutes or so. So that was very cool to play a longer one. Although it was definitely extended by just the fact that I was like reading everything out loud. What else did they do? Let me pull up their page, hold on. Growing my grandpa. They made view all by games. They made these games: Discover My Body, Discover Our Bodies, Water Womb World. Water Womb World was really cool. Remember this game? Where we were like searching for shit on like the seafloor. Very cool game. Discover Our Bodies, yeah. All very cool. And this is the only, this is the only game they've made that actually costs more than like $2. This is like Growing My Grandpa costs like $5. So if you enjoyed the stream, consider going and buying it. Anyway. I'm sure you all saw the announcement the other day. That I posted on Twitter. But I'll talk about it now. On the 26th of this month, Thursday, I will be doing a fundraising stream to pay for my bills and stuff to make sure I can like continue to live. I'll get more into it later, but we are doing Army of Diamonds, a Minecraft stream where we will be building a castle, probably for a very long time. So that's why the stream is starting early, 6 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. I'm very excited to do this stream. I've prepared quite a few things, and I'm still working on stuff. Brand new 14-hour Minecraft stream. Yeah. I'm very excited to do this. I look forward to it, and I'll probably do a few more streams in between now and then. But, yeah. It's gonna be awesome. A whole bunch of my friends are gonna be there, so it's gonna be a big group Minecraft thing. A whole endeavor. But yeah. This is also, like, I'm really proud of this fucking graphic I made, this, like, poster. Hold on. Let me get the big version. So I can show you. I think I spent, like, 7 hours making this a couple nights ago. It's like super high resolution and shit. Probably the best like Photoshop thing I've ever made. There's a bunch of stuff in the billing here at the bottom too. I'm very happy with it. That's gonna be all from me tonight. Chat. I don't think there's any art. So we'll just wrap it up here. And I'll see you on the next stream, everybody. What's a raid message? You see who's online. Grandpa enjoyed the flesh. Let's do that. Who is streaming? You know what? Let's raid Okie Dokie Dev, who is playing Monster Rancher DX right now. Okay? So be kind to them, and I'll see you next time. Okay? Good night!